We maintain a consistent focus on our primary purpose with the public. By creating positive relationships with those outside of NA and with our own members, we foster unity and harmony with each other and the community around us. We put the common welfare of NA first, and we remember that we are only autonomous as long as our actions do not affect NA as a whole. And then, so attraction. So, what is likely to be attractive to the public and to professionals who interact with addicts is reliable communication, responsibility, commitment, and behavior that reflects recovery. We can demonstrate the reliability of NA by showing up and fulfilling our obligations, whether it's to return a telephone call for information about NA or to supply meeting directories at a public library. We can draw on the experiences of NA members to fulfill the commitments we make to professionals. So, like, who has experience with returning phone calls? Like Lindsay, have you guys had like a good experience with getting back to people fast?
I have returned phone calls from professionals, but they did not get back to me really.
Right, but you guys like return the calls quick, right?
Yeah.
So the following questions for discussion are intended to help members consider the cooperation and attraction as they apply to our phone line efforts. So like, I guess, does anybody know like how our phone line is used to cooperate with various outside organizations? No, Charmaine?
Yeah, basically, if all of our public relations people that answer helpline calls have a little plastic sleeve that we stick in our phone or our wallet that have like the crisis line, the suicide helpline, the state-run organizations for things that we get calls for a lot of times that don't affect Narcotics Anonymous questions, really. It's best suited for other professionals that, now that is different than referring someone to a treatment center. You know, if somebody calls saying, I want to kill myself, you give them the suicide helpline, and, you know, we are not equipped to deal with those types of calls. That is not what our goal is. Our goal is to get people to meetings. We don't want somebody, you know, slicing their throat while they're sitting in a meeting.
So what cooperative actions do we as committees and groups take to ensure a smoothly running phone line?
Well, doing things like this, also having learning days.
We have a group text.
We have group text. I keep in contact with people. I check on the Twilio pretty frequently, like at least every other day, to see who's calling and who answered those calls. And they know that a lot of the people on the phone line will text me and let me know who called. And so I put that into the report so Outreach knows what areas they're calling from or what they're, calling about. So we might be able to help those areas a little bit better.
So like in our area, we have a group text and we do it like volleyball. Like when we get a call, like, if you ever played volleyball, and some of the people not from the US might not understand, but like before you hit the ball, you call mine. You're like mine, and then you hit it. So like we have a group text and we're like text like, I got this one. And then that way we know that we're not only has the call been answered, but that, we don't have 3 people calling the same person. Why is it important that volunteers be consistent and reliable with their service? And how does that help NA's message of recovery remain attractive?
We're attracted because it looks like we can be depended on when we show repeatedly that if you call, we answer.
How do we make phone line service an attractive NA commitment?
Boy, that's a good question, because I think we need to figure that out here. I guess that's why I'm on this call, because I want to know how we make this attractive, because it seems like it's like pulling teeth to get people to commit to this answering the phone calls.
Does anybody have experience in making the phone line service attractive, an attractive commitment? Charmaine?
Basically make it very simple for people to volunteer and allow people that wouldn't normally serve in other committees that are more homebound, especially right now. You know, it's easy to find helpline people usually. But people who aren't as capable to get out and move around, that are home a lot, and, you know, mothers, fathers that are, you know, home parents, it's so much easier to do this type of service. And our helpline that I'm involved in, we have a rollover where if you can't take the call, it automatically rolls to the next person. So it's not like you have to call someone back. And if it rings two different times for you, that means no one else is available. And if you possibly can, pick it up. And to me, that was the most simple helpline service that allows someone to, you know, if you're busy and you can't pick up a phone, or you're at work, it's just simplified. The simpler we can keep a service connection, the easier it is to find people to use those services and to volunteer. It's not a big commitment. It's a very easy commitment to me out of all the different services we do.
What about Kate?
Hi, named Kate. Just like with anything, just sharing with people how it's helped my recovery, you know, have a force a sponsee to do it, and then they may end up liking it. That's how I got my sponsee involved in H&I. I was just like, hey, why don't you come share your story? And then she just kept coming.
I think making it easy for people too, like the easier we make it, the better. And, you know, the phone line that Charmaine was talking about is the same one that you guys are using in Northern Kentucky. So it's like, if it rings and rings, then nobody's gotten it, you know?